What up, everybody? Today, we're going to be playing through Spyro 120%, using a mixture of strategies and routes that are both easy yet fast. So if you're brand new to speedrunning this game, plug in a controller, load up your copy of the game, and feel free to play along. For now, let's get into the run. And if you like this type of video or it helps you in any way, feel free to leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing in your speedrun journey of this game. We begin by collecting Nestor. Now, you can skip this dragon with a very precise trick, but we're not going to do that because that's super difficult. In general, we're going to do very easy strategies, and whenever I do something that's remotely hard, I will offer a casual brain-dead baby mode alternative that requires 0 skill. So no matter how good you are at this game, you can follow along with this playthrough. We're just going to hold X square left here at this point now, and just grab these gems, no big deal. Now I'm going to slow down here to explain these jumps. Most people will just jump around like this, but it's actually faster to jump and then charge. Now look how quickly I do it on this last one. Okay, maybe I'm not blowing any minds with that, but that's how you do that, and you can do it across all the stones. Let's get into Sunny Flight. This level is great because it's just a chill start to the run. Try to aim down and dive bomb before hitting some of these trains, but just follow the general path that I'm taking here and you'll have plenty of time to finish at the end. And even if you miss some of these planes coming up here, don't worry, or like a train or whatever, like you'll be fine. Like literally just keep it moving, keep flaming stuff like, oops, I missed a plane there, oh, I'm so bad, better reset. No, do not reset this. Just keep it chill, keep it moving. You don't even have to have a timer on for this playthrough. We're just learning the route and just getting through it, and these flight levels, once you have the route for them, they're pretty mellow. As you can see, hitting recoveries is no big deal, but I don't know, maybe that's just my thousands of hours of playing this game talking. Also, I want to point out, if you're wondering what's up with the blue Spyro that I'm playing on a hacked version of the game called the practice codes, which I'll leave a link to the Discord down below if you want to set those up yourself. You can totally play them on emulator or console. But you could also just copy this playthrough on a normal fucking whatever you got. Now here I crash into the shelf below the box as I collect it, so that way I can skip an animation. But if you miss that, it's only a few seconds, so don't worry about it. Alright, now that we're finally out of that flight level, it's time to properly start this run. I'm going to be flaming and then charging into this guy, which is a technique I want you to think about early on in your journey. I hold my thumb over the circle and square button in order to really get that circle square press happening really quick. This is going to help you not just home in gems from flames, but also just catch enemies like thieves and like that gem burglar right there. But overall, you don't have to do it that fast, and in fact, if you miss some of the red gems at the start, you can pick them up there on that home world cleanup. But we're heading straight into Dark Hollow at this point, where we're going to actually head to the right here. World record goes left, but that does an out of bounds route, and with what we're doing here, we need to actually exit on the vortex. So this guy may roar at you. It's a little bit of a time loss, but that's just RNG. You know, a route like this actually really takes me back to like 2014, 2015, because this was like the first route that I sort of learned of this game. So it's kind of fun to pass it on, and yeah, I mean, you can really do this route pretty fast overall. Like, you don't necessarily need to be a speedrun god. Also, if you don't want to do that jump, you can just go around to the right here and collect them sort of this way. But either way, just heading back up these platforms and then getting out of here. But I think, honestly, I think a lot of people overcomplicate this game. People really think they have to do like the fastest thing, you know, when really you need to just focus on generally jumping and charging around. You're noticing that out of all of my jumps, I'm charging, you know, I'm not necessarily doing a lot of these empty hops that you'll see a casual player doing a lot more of. But yeah, anyways, you know, the route of this level, we go downstairs first, then clean up the key chest, and now we're heading towards the vortex. So a little bit of backtracking, but it's a pretty easy level overall. Here, you just want to make sure you grab this red, and we're going to have to backtrack a little more for these little shelves right here. Now here, I'm going to be doing a wall glide. You can see how this wall's slanted a little bit. If you jump and then charge glide against it, pardon me, you can make that jump right there. But let's just say you mess it up. Oh, whoops. You can just climb up the stairs. It's no big deal. But that kind of introduces the next big topic I want to talk about in this tutorial is charge gliding. So if I were to do that same technique here, again with an empty glide with no charge, you can see how Spyro kind of lolls in the air when he glides like that. versus charging then gliding, you can see he moves more quickly. This helps you maintain height and speed as you're going through the level. So you're going to hear me talking about charge gliding and flame charging a lot more in this playthrough, so even if you don't nail down these routes right away to start, work on those general techniques because they will make you a much better player at this game over time. Now here we're going to be going to Toasty. You'll see a lot of runs go to Stone Hill at this point, but we are going to be going to Toasty after cleaning up these hedge maze gems. And dodging those two enemies right there because we can grab them after Town Square. So the level order here is actually going to go Dark Hollow, Toasty, Stone Hill, Town Square, and then exit Artisans. You can see I left a few gems there in the home world to clean up for later. Now here we go into Toasty, and this level has some of the hardest enemies in the game, unironically. These dogs require 2 flames to hit, and you'll see that I try to flame both the shepherd and the dog at the same time. By flaming into them and walking forward or charging forward, as well as jumping in the air before the second flame, you can get those dogs much more consistently. See, I'm jumping in the air every time I do those flames. That way I account for them jumping in the air and maybe going over my flame. But it is possible to hit these dogs actually too quickly. We're going to leave that one for later. Same thing with this one coming up here. We're actually going to make this one jump off the edge. You can see how I collected his gem there. And then we're just kind of grabbing gems and hitting all these enemies. If you're not doing it this quickly, don't worry. If you need to walk your way through it, you know, don't feel bad. But I'm mostly just jumping and flaming there and charging. That's really the whole game right there in a nutshell. At this point, we're going to kill Toasty after taking care of this dog. Again, charging out of that flame. Take a drink every time I say, all right, now we're going to charge out of this flame. We're going to charge out of that thing. Charge here, charge there. I mean, it's a speed run, so we're obviously trying to charge everywhere we can. I went for a cool double kill right there, but if you miss it, no biggie. Just pick them up later. It's not a big deal. It's definitely possible to kill those dogs using only 1 flame, but it's a pretty tough strat and barely saves time, so I wouldn't worry about it. For now, we're going to just clean up the rest of these boxes here before moving on to Stone Hill. Alright, so in Stone Hill, we're going to have our first little challenge here, and I promise you, what we're about to do here looks kind of tricky, but it's not that difficult, and I'll break it down and make it nice and easy. I'm of course talking about this fountain right here. Now you'll see I've cleaned up every gem up to this point, and you can tell the fountain doesn't really want us to stand on it, but you can definitely stand on both of these polygons that have lips. Notably, you cannot stand on the right side, only the left. And then from here, we're going to hold X, and because we're holding X and forward, it's just going to roll up there like that. Normally that roll is supposed to knock you down like a slide off, but if you just jump up there and if you're holding X the whole way, he'll automatically jump up there. It's one of the few examples of a buffered input in this game. I would show you guys a route that doesn't do that, just to make it as easy as possible, but I've thought about it, and there's really no good route that doesn't incorporate the fountain jump. Even back in the day when I first started speedrunning this game, we were doing that, and it can be frustrating to mess it up in runs and stuff. By the way, remember to approach this guy a little bit on the left side, not too much, but a little bit on the left, otherwise he'll run the opposite direction. So approach him on the left, and don't forget this box afterwards, which is obscured by the hill here. But yeah, you know, with a couple of tries, you can get that fountain jump. It shouldn't be too bad. And trust me, spending a few tries doing that fountain jump is going to be faster than any alternative route that doesn't do that. Again, don't forget about this box. This level is like so big and has so much crap in it that it really, it's like it's easy to miss stuff here. So really pay attention to those gems that are hiding behind walls and hills and whatnot here. Gonna go ahead and grab this dragon. And now we're just going to finish cleaning up the upper area. While I was ranting there, I sort of cleaned up all of the reds that were strewn about in this upper area. And these are the last of them here. Now from this little tip, you can just jump off, and then here you are at the key. You can see why this route makes a lot more sense, you know, because of that. Otherwise, you'd have to go down, grab the key, then come back up, and then, you know what I'm saying? Where here you don't have to do that. I did a triangle drop there. You can actually press triangle in mid-air during a glide in order to, you know, drop like this. See how he kind of drops there? But you obviously don't have to do that. You can grab the dragon there and then press L1 and then square in order to get that box as well. Here, I'm actually just going to jump in the fountain early. Why not? You could jump in it later. It's actually slightly faster to jump in the fountain later, but we're going to jump in it early because if you miss a box inside the final area that we're going to, it's a little faster to clean it up when you do it last. So we're going to grab this, this, and this. Easy to miss that red. That's why I kind of waited there for a moment. And that's about it for Stone Hill. Stay in the middle of these, kind of tapping the left stick as you go through them. So that way you can hit all of those boxes. You'll probably miss one, and that's okay. And you might struggle with the fountain jump a little bit, but give it some time, and I think you got it. I think it's a pretty beginner-friendly route, all things considered. So that's Stone Hill, and now we hold square and right in order to land on sort of this little hill that's right here. You can see it's a little bit more raised, so that way you can jump on that little platform a bit easier. Bear right as you grab those two reds. Try not to get stuck in the turnaround animation. Side note, whenever I turn around, I'm always just gradually turning the stick like left and right. I'm not just aiming left, right, blah, 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 all willy-nilly. You sort of want to get these turns like this that avoid turnaround animations. But anyways, we go down here and we flame and charge into that guy. The key thing there is that he runs into you as you're charging past him, so that way he lands here and not further up. But if he does land further up, that's okay. Don't worry about it. We're just going to clean up the rest of these gems here and leave the ones off to the left there for after we exit Town Square. So here we go into Town Square, and this level isn't too difficult, but one thing you can focus on in the start is stretching Sparks' sort of grab range as far as you can. His range doesn't actually go any further than it normally does, but it does appear that way when you're charging, that he kind of reaches further. In fact, his range is actually an octagon around Spyro, which I'll show off right now, just for fun. Using these practice codes, kind of one reason I like doing this tutorial for this. You can actually see just how far away you need to be from a gem for it to actually home in, and even then it's like really just on the edge of like being able to work, whereas if you're charging, it appears like it's collecting from further away. So just a funny thing about the Sparks mechanics in this game is they just sort of an illusion like that. But TLDR is you want to be charging as much as possible with gems, and you see me flame charging those boxes there to make the gems home in. I touched on this earlier, but that's like a pretty precise technique. So if you're not getting gems to home in from your flame charges, that's okay. It takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of time, but just keep working on it and you'll totally make it. It's all good. You can see here I'm sort of messing up some of this movement, but it's all good. Now, normally you can actually make this jump from this stair right here, but instead I'm just going to go up here. You know, this fourth stair is plenty enough room to make it as well. You can even go all the way up to that green thing. Now with this thief right here, I actually did a flame charge jump to kill him and skip his animation, but if you just want to flame charge him and just, you know, take the animation, that's almost as fast. So just try to flame and charge into that guy before he runs away. That generally is what we do with all the thieves in this game, is we try to flame charge them or flame charge jump them before they have a chance to run away. That bull that I just killed right there could be in a number of different spots, but you know, sometimes you want to kill him earlier, sometimes you want to kill him later, but at this point we're just cleaning up the last bits of the level here, and yeah, nothing too complicated. And since I went kind of slow here showing off Sparks' shit, I am a little off cycle with stuff, but that's fine. It's not, none of this stuff is a big deal. And there we go, that's everything. That's Town Square right there. Now here, I'm going to be pressing left and R2 as I fly out, kind of curving around as I land here. You can also just hold square and then press X again to jump when you land on the main area there to get there. But I think it's a little easier to hold left and R2 to get the camera around, so it's up to you. Just kill those enemies there. Don't worry about any other gems. Just follow this straight path to the end, and that is going to be Artisans. So yeah, let me just say congratulations on learning the first of 6 homeworlds in this game. You got through the hardest part, is just getting started. Now we just got to keep blowing through the game, keep it moving. This next homeworld, Peacekeepers, is going to have another alternate level route, so if you want, you can just focus on learning these first 2 homeworld level orders, and then just kind of learn from somebody else's run if you so wish. But we're going to go through the whole game here, and yeah, keep it moving. And if you're made it this far in your learning, hey, GG, proud of you. I gave you a gold Spyro just to celebrate, you know, really keep it classy. Keep it congratulatory. Now, as I mentioned, this is a different level route than what you'll see in World Record. I'm going to Dry Canyon first instead of doing the wall glide over to Night Flight. I know people struggle with that. It's not a tough wall glide. I definitely recommend checking it out. It is a bit faster, but not by much. And here, the fan chest is actually going to go up and kill that guy up there. You can see behind the bridge. But yeah, pretty straightforward. We leave those spring chests for later because we're going to clean up the thief after going upstairs. We're going to jump down and access the second part of the level to the left over there later. Keep this bird, that second bird, keep him on screen so that way he flies down towards you. If he goes off screen even a little bit, he sometimes like un-aggroes you and doesn't see you anymore, which is really annoying. Now here, I would normally go down to the left behind those cacti and do a charge glide, but you can also just go up here the casual way. You could even charge jump glide or jump charge glide, whatever you want, or just jump empty glide. You can charge jump this as well, or you can take it a bit slower, so you, if you so wish. It may be safer to go slow there and just do full jumps and big glides, you know, whatever makes you happy. On this key, you can actually roll into it. It's one of the few spots that an R1 roll works, but you know, I'll just turn and grab it. I like to turn and jump charge for stuff like that because it is faster, and it's just good general movement techniques to practice. I intentionally bonked this because look how far away I am from this fan chest. If I was like right here, then look what, the gem doesn't home in when you flame charge from that close. But when you bonk, you're at that right distance to get the gem to home in. And if you've been struggling with getting stuff to home in from flame charges, that's probably your #1 problem, is you're either too close or too far from the object or enemy that you're trying to get the gem to home in on. So really just play with different spacings and timings of your flame charge. If you know you're already doing the flame and charge fast, you're good. Now here you can do just short hops and grab these, but I like to go for a little double on some of them and then fail it like that. So you could be just like me one day if you just fail some of those. And now we're at a, normally I would spin jump here to get up to that platform early, but instead we're going to go off to the left here and just clean up this area. Do kind of two circuits of it, 2 rounds. We're going to leave some gems down below as well, so that way we can grab them later. So here I'm just going to flame some of those. You can grab some of those gems, or we're just going to go up and grab these for right now, and then come back for the rest. Maybe grab that blue on your way up. You can see, I want to reiterate that I'm not stressing every single gem here. I'm leaving some. If I know I'm coming back to an area, I'm leaving some. That's like a big idea in not just this level, but Dr. Shemp as well. We're going to be leaving a lot of gems towards the start of the run, the start of each level's route, and then coming back for them later. So when you know you're coming back for something, don't stress getting every single thing. And that is Dry Canyon. Yeah, these Peacekeepers levels are definitely, like, more drab, I would say. Like, these skyboxes are just not really... I'm gonna be honest, they're like D-tier skyboxes and aesthetics. But, you know, while I'm here on this tutorial, instead of killing this guy, I got to at least appreciate this dude's magnum booty. Oh my god, that is that's flatter than the pancakes I make for Sarah out of the freaking Kroger mix. Pretty amazing. Here we go into Clifftown. There's more enemies beyond this level that we'll be taking care of in little groups afterwards, but for now, we're going to get into Clifftown, and this level is going to be a bit of a reroute compared to what you see in World Record. Kind of a major one. There is still going to be a couple of tricky jumps like this one right here. All you got to do is jump, charge, and then press X while holding charge, you know. That tends to be a thing that you do a lot in this game, is you kind of jump, charge, and then just press X while holding charge there and turning into the corner, and you should be able to get that jump no problem. But if you do struggle with it, you can fly from the end of the level back to this area. The area that's up over there, we're going to be up in that area later, so if you want, you can fly there if you're struggling with that. And now here we're not going to jump around this way like World Record does. We're going to kind of circle it back this way and collect all of these gems, because we're going to be leaving other stuff for later as well. But yeah, you can definitely pick and choose things that you do or don't want to learn from World Record here. Like this jump, for example, you totally don't have to do that. You could also opt to just go back around this way and collect all the thief and dragon, which I'll just go ahead and do here, just to keep it as easy as possible. And this is a kind of a cool old strat. You can go for a double kill. See if I can get this. Oh, on the thief and the box. I tried to hit the box there as well. If you can do that, you're a G. And now, normally we would jump up here using a jump, charge, glide, and then charge. But that is a very tight jump, and if you don't get it just right, you're going to bonk like that. So instead, we're going to leave those boxes for later, and we're just going to grab these right now. Just focus on getting this... use the audio cue to hear that flame sizzle on the firework. That's very important. But that's not a hard jump. That looks hard. It's actually not as precise as you might think. Just remember to flame all of the cauldrons. You can see I'm connecting some of my flames with flame charges on the boxes into the cauldron. You don't have to get that advanced with it. But just make sure you're hitting all of them. Especially here, that mama can block the cauldron really easily, so really make sure you got that one. And now, because we flamed the rocket down there, we have all these gems here. Which is why, even if you're a beginner, I suggest you do that. So that way you don't have to climb all the way back up this thing again. And you can jump around to the right there, but you can also just go left, keep it safe. When the mamas slap you, they don't actually do damage, so it's all good, basically. And now we're going to jump across the ravine, hold X square left here, and just get that extra jump there after, and you should make this no problem. And now here, really try to pay attention to the, you might want to review this particular section a couple times. Bird, gem, gem, bird, gem, bird, gem, clutch sparks, bird, that bird went a good direction, and gem, gem. And here's where you would actually jump down to the back part of the level. If you were struggling with that part down below, you would you can go down there at this point and grab it. But again, it just makes the backtracking long, because then you got to fly up here another time, you know, just to grab this stuff. But you can route it however you want. I mean, it's not that deep. I recommend just learning that thing at the start, though. Grab these, and now since we left those boxes earlier, we're just going to head up this way and grab them more simply from this direction. It's still pretty fast to do it this way. And then we can just simply turn around, grab this guy, grab these, and finish up the level. And that is Clifftown. Alright, this next section might be a little different than what you've seen. We're basically going to let the blue guy turn the cannon for us so that we can shoot not just the strong boxes. Get the red guys here. Let this guy turn it. We're going to shoot not just the strong boxes here. Stay to the left of this one so you don't shoot the thing behind it. And kind of flame halfway through. And we're going to get this little target right here as well. That's going to blow up, you can see. And we're going to also grab all of these gems here too. So this is kind of what makes this route a little slower than going straight to Night Flight at the start of this homeworld. But it's really just like what was that? A couple seconds maybe? So, all right. And here we are on the Trans Colors Spyro. Looking pretty swag. I got to say, I like this color scheme. But we're going to leave all these gems here for now. I'm not worried about it. I'm just grabbing some of them, especially those ones off to the side there. Grab those. These I'm going to start to grab as well. If you can't do that section that fast, don't worry. I do recommend that you just focus on charging through the little guys there. And yeah, and just leave their gems for later if you need to. We are going to go back through that section. It is nice to grab all these gems in this little spot right here though, so. But everything else at the beginning you can just grab after. Don't stress it. I haven't talked about this, but you have to touch dragons on a certain side in order to save time. So just be aware of that. Spyro does take time to grab dragons. That first cycle of Shemp, you want to be on the left side of him as you approach him, so that way he kind of runs around without doing his attack. It's just one of those things. If you're quick and you stay to the left on his first cycle, he should be easy. That second cycle is free. You just stand behind him. And here you just get ready for his jump. You could also do a quick kill. World Record does a quick kill on him there, but you don't have to do that. It's barely any faster. But yeah, that's basically the main thing to remember about the Shemp fight is go left at the start to get him to run around quick. Now here I'm just hitting that mama. I did a flame charge jump there. You totally don't have to do that. You also could grab that blue earlier to make the cleanup a little nicer at the end. But however nice or bad the cleanup is all good. And that is Dr. Shemp. Now, let's get ready for this homeworld by holding square and right, just so we can turn around here. And then we can, whoops, and then we can grab these boxes in one go and climb up here to get to Night Flight. If you miss that enemy right there, don't worry about it. He's one of 2 enemies in the game that will automatically die when you exit the level. So as long as you're holding square when you exit Night Flight, you'll usually get his gem. And here we are in Night Flight. I'm going to do a very easy baby route here, but I will mention where the speedrun faster route diverges, which is going to be on this lamppost. We would go left normally, but here we're going to go right. And just follow the lampposts down. Don't get, don't get tempted by those arches too early yet. Again, if you want to do the faster route, you want to go left on that one lamppost that I said. But for now, we're keeping it easy. The reason why you might want to start with a route like this is just because if you're doing a full game run and you die in a level like this, that is a minute lost generally, especially if you're deep into the level. So I think it's wise to just keep it safe until you practice these levels a bit more. If you're just practicing, I would say like do the faster route. But if you're doing a full game run and you're not used to the speed strats, do this. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm keeping it so simple for you guys. This is anybody can follow along with this tutorial. Brain dead. You know what they say about Spyro fans? We're brain dead at heart. We all share a simultaneous brain cell together, and that's how we get through these games. That's what it takes to speedrun. Now, we're getting out of Night Flight. You'll notice there's some gems that respawn there, but I collected that guy's blue, again, by charging through. And we're going to do a flame charge jump to get that guy. You definitely don't have to do it that clean. You can just flame and charge him. But you can go for that extra jump on him if you want to skip the animation quicker. Now here, World Record would do a wall glide on this, but instead we're just going to go the casual way. Heading up this... Uh-oh. Okay, recovery time. You can actually get back up on this from the side. Let me see if I can get it. Come on, for the fans. Oh! So even when it looks like all hope is lost, I'm glad I got to show you guys that recovery. You just want to jump from the left side there, basically. We're going to go left here, but I just want to show the water is taller over there than it is over here. So you can see kind of some of the polygons there. That's how that recovery is possible. Just jump and charge. Pretty cool. That's pretty funny, though, failing the casual strat. So now all of these things would be collected normally. You can just kind of go this way and grab this dragon. Head straight to Night Flight. Some of the gems have respawned here in the home world because I've been loading save states and whatnot, but don't worry about that. All of those gems would be collected up to that point. Now here we are in Ice Cavern. I love this level. I mean, the vibes. I mean, especially with this color Spyro. I mean, just take a moment, soak it in. Damn. Anyways, let's continue. Don't forget those greens at the start. I like to charge off and then flame that guy while I'm gliding. Don't forget that green. You can grab all 3 of these gems by going off to the left of this dragon, even though that does cost a couple frames in the time that Spyro walks on the dragon. Again, it's not technically a suboptimal dragon touch. I was talking about that a little earlier, but yeah, you can touch dragons in different spots, and Spyro will take different amounts of time to walk to his next position. Like, take for example right here, I'm supposed to touch this dragon right here, but look what happens when I touch him back here. See, I took all that time to walk around before the dragon exploded. That's what we're trying to avoid. Now here we're going to be doing a different route than World Record. We're going to be collecting this key, importantly, and just cleaning up some of these gems, not all of them, some of these gems, and dying intentionally at this spot. What this is going to allow us to do is go back and grab the key chest without any worry or fear of messing up anything and, being in a risky position. If you go for the World Record route that jumps up at that point that I death abused, then it's just going to be a riskier level overall. So let's keep it safe and just take that intentional death abuse, which is barely slower. I like to jump charge down there, you kind of lean back and charge out of the air, off the ledge. Grabbing these guys' gems out of the air. I haven't really talked about that much, but some enemies you can't, make their gem home in. So you just, for ones like this blue enemy here, you just want to kind of jump and flame them. Really, no big deal. I definitely did kind of a bit of an improper cleanup in that spot. I think you're just supposed to go down and left first. But don't worry about it. It's not a perfect science. I'm thinking about this route the same way you guys should be. It's just go down here, collect all the gems, go up there, collect all the gems. It doesn't have to be like the perfect route or anything. I'm gonna save that dragon for later. I could have grabbed him now. Doesn't matter. We're gonna be ending the level on that dragon. Or around that spot. I like to walk here a little bit to give that guy time to roll up and hit that beautiful double flame charge. This guy requires 2 hits. You notice that I kind of zigzagged him to the left and then to the right. That's the strat you want to do on him. And now here you can bonk into these poles to get the gem, or you can sideswipe them. See, I kind of hit some of those side swipes there, so that's kind of slightly faster if you do that, but if you miss it like that, it's kind of embarrassing. I'm gonna hit this guy. And, you know, you don't have to flame charge these guys. It's not a big deal. You can make this jump. It's totally doable. You can even do it from right here. But I recommend if you're not exactly an expert with the movement, just jump on that. You know, just play it safe. I mean, hey, why not send it once, and then if you fail it, then just do it the easy way. Pretty simple. Definitely in this inner cavern, just play it safe. You know, don't get too ahead of yourself, because if you fall into that lean, if you fall into that purple drank, I mean, you're in trouble. But that's kind of the nice thing. If you grab the dragon that's right here early, when I first came through this area, instead of now, if you grab this dragon early, then even if you die, it's not a big backtrack. So I would definitely recommend doing that instead of ending the level on him. Whatever you want, you know. This is just this is like a Bob Ross, you know. Paint your own route with stuff to make it as easy as possible. And guys, that's going to be it for Peacekeepers. All we got to do is clean up these 3 guys here. You could also grab these guys on the way over to Ice Cavern. Totally doesn't matter. And that would be everything in Peacekeepers. Let's head over to Magic Crafters. Moving on to Homeworld number 3 out of 6. You might be able to hear me kind of sloshing around in a winter jacket right now. I don't know if you guys hear all that, but I'm currently in the garage in Pennsylvania in the middle of winter, right after Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Little flame charge. See, if you miss a flame charge, you just keep it moving. Just do another one on those guys. It doesn't matter. You know, you don't have to stress it if you miss them. Oh God, I missed them. I'll just try it again. That's the beautiful thing about flame charging in this game. But yeah, it is winter over here right now, and I'm getting a little, I'm a little bit of a chilly Billy, so I'm rocking the hardcore winter jacket. You know, so don't mind me shuffling around in that. Okay, with this fan chest, be careful not to aim too far to the left here. You want to aim a little bit to the left, but not too far to the left. But you don't want to aim directly at this guy. You want to aim kind of like right about here. And then that fan chest is going to go down and hit the guy on the other side of the wall. If you're too far left or right, that fan will miss. So just be careful with that. I'm going to go ahead and flame this one as well. This one doesn't matter whether you hit the guys or not. The thing you have to remember here is that just stay on the ground. Don't jump at that part, because then the guys will lift their platforms before you reach them. So on that flame charge or that second fan chest, just stay on the ground. Now here goes Alpine Ridge. This level is where, I always say this is kind of where the risk starts to kind of amp up. The punishment for bad movement starts to really become relevant, you know. For some reason, I wonder why. But yeah, so, you know, pretend like I didn't just die there and just keep it moving. That's the key. You don't want to be hesitating too much or, you know, getting stuck while enemies are approaching you. Just, if you need to back away, jump away from things, you know, that's totally fine. Keep it moving. That's the key with this game. Keep it moving. Don't hesitate. Just don't hesitate, 'cause your love won't wait. Anybody know that song? Here on that guy, I made sure if you stand too close to this dude right here, he will lift his thing early. So you're going to want to flame this guy and then probably collect these reds and then get this guy, again, staying grounded before you hit him. So that way he doesn't fucking troll you. Here, again, these enemies, you can't flame charge them, so I just wait for that first one to die and manually collect. Now, of course, I could have hurried and gone for that, but we don't want to die here. So maybe it was good to perhaps to hesitate right there. I need to work on my vocal skills. I was trying to teach Sarah's mom how to play a song on piano earlier, and I was like, let's sing it together. And let me just tell you, I was not cut out for opera. I was fucking hitting every notes except the right one. I was like, you get it? And she's like, what the fuck are you singing, dude? Like, you need I think you're the one that needs lessons here. That's probably what she was thinking. You can hold X and square here to get up this. And also, just to backtrack a little, on this platform, if it's raised up, you can actually just jump and charge glide to land on this platform. You don't actually have to wait for him to drop it down. So just FYI, that's what I did there, I believe. But, you know, of course, if you need to slow it down, that's what I'm saying. Like, this level is like, if you're really like a noob, like just baby beginner mode in this level, like how I'm looking right now, if you're really looking worse for wear here, just slow it down, wait for the cycles if you need to. It's really not a big deal. But of course, there is ways to, the more you do a level, especially like this, some of these Magic Crafters levels that have a lot of like moving platforms, the more you do them, the more you're going to get in tune with the actual cycles of the platforms. But when you're brand new, just suss it out, see how you're feeling, and then you can start getting, you know, slowly get more ballsy with it. Turn around, grab these. Now pay attention to where I'm about to hit right here. I'm actually going to press start and just, you can kind of see the outline. Do you see where these, do you see where all of the polygons kind of meet right there? We want to go to the top right of that star formation right there. So that right there was the polygon we wanted to go through. If you're having trouble going through the wall there, there's no shame in just going to the left and casually collecting the dragon and then killing the thief that way. But that is a pretty fun little time save. All you got to do is just see those polygons, which isn't hard on these archaic, old, prehistoric PlayStation games. I mean, shit just looks like it's made out of like 2 polygons, so they're pretty easy to see, even on my giant, oversized tube television that I'm just such a spoiled, far-gone gamer that everywhere I go, I have to bring a giant fucking TV with me. It's to see the polygons, you know? And after some awkward pausing, that is Alpine Ridge. Now, I think we're getting pretty settled in here, so I'm just going to crack open a beer and kick it for a moment. Hold the square button. Oh, yeah, a little one-handed gameplay there. But not for this section. Maybe don't play this game with one hand, actually. But just make sure you kill those 2 guys. Turn it around. Don't do that jump. You don't have to do that jump right there. That was totally unnecessary. I was just being goofy there, honestly. Man, I took 1 sip of beer and now I'm all fucking literally flying off the walls here. I mean, what can I say? It's in my blood to just do every weird, unusual, and unnecessary strat possible. It's just who I am. Alright, so let's get into high caves here. World record and other optimal routes would go to the left at the start, but here we're going to go to the right to make the supercharge on the spiders. We're going to split the supercharge into 2 supercharges, basically, to make it easier. So the hardest part there is just kind of sneaking past those 2 freaking nightmare fuel spiders there at the start. But without further ado, of course, we got to just clean up everything off to the right. If you miss either of those spring chests or these chests, you know, don't worry, just flame them, whatever you want. It's not a big deal. You can tell I'm really trying to lay it on easy with you guys here. Like, it's okay if you mess up any of these supercharges. I really want to reiterate that. This thief is really hard to hit like that, so expect to miss him. He's probably the hardest one in the game to hit the flame charge jump animation skip on. Now here, we're going to just jump, charge glide, and you can kind of wall glide on that little part to get around. If the fairies catch you and lift you around, it's no big deal. But now, we're going to go to the left here, and just grab all these spiders. Try to get as low as possible so that those gems home in. And just go for the blue wizards here. Stop your supercharge, and then grab this, this dragon. You can also extend the supercharge if you want. After killing this tornado guy, you could go back around and kill both of these wizards down here as well, if you wanted, but you don't have to do that. And we're gonna go this way. We'll be cleaning those up a little later. Again, this is just the easiest thing here, so just trying to keep it easy. I don't know how much slower this route is than what world record does. But I'd reckon it's got to be somewhere in the 10 to 20 second range. You know, most of these reroutes are like within 10 seconds of like their fast route counterpart. Now here, we're going to use these poles to jump up, but let's just say, oops, I missed, I fucked it up, oh no. Or say you missed that spider back there. This is what you do. You know, we're just using those poles to ramp up. You could do that to get up to this area as well. But just say that you mess it up, which you almost certainly will if you're a beginner. Just go back and grab the spiders here. It's really no big deal. You can even go back in that room and grab that one if you missed it. It's no big deal. And from here, you can actually flame these spring chests down. Be careful not to jump off there without all the gems. And all we got to do at this point is just kill these two guys and then take a death abuse, which is going to take us back to the dragon right up over here. Which is why you want to collect this dragon not on the first time, but on the second time you come through, so that way you respawn in the correct place. And now we're just cleaning up the rest of the level, and that's it. No crazy, you know, extended supercharged strategies, nothing that's going to blow your mind off that you're going to be practicing all day just to save a couple seconds. It's a very easy, straightforward, old school route here. But yeah, as you can imagine, those supercharged strats do get way more intense, so if you want to see some of that, feel free to check out World Record. I did hit the thief that was over here with one of those fan chests, so just make sure you listen to hear the thief go like, he kind of sounds like that. All right, and with that said, just hold square, kind of right up there, you know, square right up, kind of curve it into that dragon, and then you can just charge or jump charge down here. Since we already killed these two guys, we just got to focus on the green guy there. And then kind of jump across to grab that wizard while preserving some of our momentum. When you let go of supercharge, you do keep some of that momentum, so kind of gives you a longer short hop like that. And here we are in Wizard Peak, one of my favorite levels, S-tier vibes for sure, but we're going to go off to the left here to start, and I just want to warn you, this level does have some tricky strategies in them, which I'll offer alternatives for. I'm going to give you the easiest possible thing here. And kind of the reason why it's a little tricky in this level is because of this little platform over here. You can't see it normally, but there it is. You're supposed to fly over there from up here, but the problem with that is that we'd have to backtrack all the way back through this area again in order to, you know, make that work. So the best way to do that without having to do any complicated supercharged turnarounds is with a little wall glide that I'll show you here in a moment. But for now, we're back here in the main area. Just collected everything in the outer area, and now we're indoors here. By the way, all of these enemies are flame chargeable, even the big guys. I missed one there, but that's that. Now, that's the platform we were talking about earlier. To get there, we're going to do a wall glide right here. See how that wall is kind of angled? If you flop and die, it's not a big deal, because you'll just end up right there and just come back around. You know, you'll just end up at the start of the level again. And now you can come back through, do the casual strat, and grab the enemy. This is the fastest casual way to do this. This is how I first learned it way back in the day. Quite a blast from the past for me, but just for fun, I'll show you the alternative strategy that you can do here. You can actually bounce off of one of those wizards, but you can also do a supercharged turnaround here. Like this. To get up there, and you got to really delay your X press when you bounce against this wall. When I reach this wall at about 45 degrees, I press X late and turn away from it. Press X late, that's the key there. But anyways, whatever strat you decide to do there, I showed you the easy one, you know, and it gave you a kind of a more difficult alternative. Collect some of these enemies in boxes, and then grab some of these gems. Now, if you miss a couple gems, like I missed a gem on the other side of the wall there, I was trying to grab them through the wall, but if you miss one, just be careful as you come through here, and just press circle and L1. Well, I messed it up, but circle and L1 to roll off like that. And all that should be left for you to collect here at this point is this one wizard, and the last two that were down here if you didn't get those yet. And now here, there's a strategy. This is kind of interesting. We're really abusing the momentum here. Here, we're going to charge jump off of this and push against the wall and then like kind of get away from the wall right as right before we land there. So that gives us more speed than we're supposed to have. Again, if you mess it up, and let's just say you die because you didn't have enough speed, that's probably what's going to happen to you. You can just, you know, you're going to respawn here, so you can just do the charge normally. So here we go. This is the recovery. And you're right back here. So no big deal. Yeah, this is a level that really trips up, as you can imagine, this is a level that really trips up beginner players. People really get stuck on the whole supercharged turnaround thing, or wizard proxy, or really getting all the exact strats right. And when let me tell you, when they go right, it's fucking amazing. But for a new player, for just a beginner, just getting through the game, keep it simple, you know? You can do all the crazy supercharged stuff later, but you can at least go for some of those things on this particular route if you wish. Add in whatever you feel comfortable with, and if you mess it up, then you can always just death abuse to go the casual way with any of those, you know, with any of those strategies I was showing you, basically. So yeah, and running back around the front side of Lucas to grab him. You're probably not going to clean up everything as cleanly as I did there, but that is okay. You know, just take it slow. Life is good, and that is Wizard Peak. That is the baby version of Wizard Peak right there. Probably pissing off a lot of speedrunners. But with that said, we grab one of, I believe, only 2 or 3 purple chests in the game before heading up over this way. And I just want to stop here and show off a cool trick. After you grab these gems, you want to press R2 to get the camera stuck on the archway like this. Because what we're going to do is when the camera's stuck on the archway, we can go into the level and touch this dragon while going through the portal. The level won't load until the camera touches the portal itself, so that's why we got to get it stuck on the arch. Take a look. See how the camera took a moment to kind of come around? That barely maybe worked at all, but as long as you get the camera holding R2 there on the arch, you should be good. Now here's Crystal Flight. This is another level where I'm gonna kind of just say that maybe it's best that you do a version of this speedrun strat. Now, let's just say you miss. I'm going to restart this level. Let's just say you miss some stuff there. Like, this is a common thing to miss. Like, oh, I missed one of these guys. Uh-oh. Oh, man, I'm screwing up. I can't hit anything. Oh, no. Well, let's just see how that looks at the end of the level. Because it's not going to be as bad as you think. As long as you get those archways and turn it around, just try to get as many planes as you can. And we'll take a look at how that recovery looks together. But yeah, right now we're just following the level here. And now you're going to see the planes right up here that we missed, so we can just go ahead and grab them now. This is way faster than any casual version of this route, so I recommend doing that little turnaround at the start. It might be a little awkward at first, but as long as it's not too bad, you can just get into that first archway by, you know, holding up and left to just kind of dive bomb into it, and the rest is history from there. And that's what like a well-recovered Crystal Flight looks like. Still much faster than anything you're probably going to do casually, so at least as far as I can tell. If you casually chase down those planes, trust me, they take up all of the time there. And yep, I guess I missed the skip on this dragon, but you know, you get to hear him yell for a second and then we move on, so that's all right. Let's keep it moving and head down into Blowhard here to finish up Magic Crafters. Careful with this guy's platform, it's not very nice. You can also grab the wizards that are behind this portal. I usually don't, but you can do it if you want. Might be a little easier. And now in this level, we're gonna really, there's no backtracking here, so we're really gonna collect everything as we go. I charged into this box to save a little time. You don't have to do that. In fact, I'd probably recommend that you don't do that, but you can. As a beginner player, it might be wise to just take it easy in this level and just really try to conserve sparks. Wait for this platform right here, and don't miss the blue that's like hiding down in there as well. Just play it slow, just hop on them. Hop on them platforms. And yeah, so there's nothing really much more to say here, except just be ready for these platforms to move, because, you know, if you want, you can, like, wait. I see a lot of casual players waiting, but you really don't have to. You can just jump across them. They move slower than you might expect, so you can pretty much just go straight for them. You don't have to sit there and wait like a dang idiot. But if you feel comfortable with that, go ahead. There's another box that you could charge into. But let's conserve some sparks and just flame it this time. On the first firework chest, if you flame it, you can actually go and kill some of the enemies as it is about to explode. So that's kind of a cool way of doing that. And yeah, sometimes Blowhard kind of moves around the stage a little bit before you hit him. You just got to remember to jump and flame into him, similarly to the dogs and Toasty. His hitbox is like a little higher than you'd expect. But yeah, just cleaning up the rest of the gems here and moving on to Beastmakers. We're definitely not going to Stonehill. And let's go to Beastmakers. You wouldn't have that text normally in the game. This is just because I'm playing on the practice codes. Tuco, to those of you who don't know, he is a really unique balloonist because he'll just take you to like several different random levels if you don't have all the eggs. So yeah, fuck that guy. We're going to start Beastmakers by just grabbing all these gems to the right and going straight for this dude before he, you know, knocks down his electric thing. Then you'll have plenty of time to grab all this if you don't take damage. But even if you're slow and you miss them, you just wait for the cycles. This game, you can really see at this point, is like, especially this section of the run, is all about platform cycles, whether it's electric charge pads like that or moving wizard platforms in Magic Crafters. There's just a lot of either rushing or waiting that you have to do. So just be ready for that. Whatever you're going to do, just definitely practice. Really spend more time on this like middle section of the game than even on the early sections. You know, get your level order, get them done, get the strats you want there, and whether you do harder stuff than what I show here or easier, get whatever strats you want, just the general idea, but really focus in on these. We're starting to get into like the later sections of the game now, and this is where people kind of tend to like lose their routing a little bit, lose kind of what they're lose themselves, so to speak. But maybe I'm just talking bullshit. Maybe I have no idea. I haven't, like, you know, it's been like over a decade since I've learned this game, so yeah, just follow that general route there. If you do it slow, you might be a little bit behind on these platforms. I'm always talking about getting God's Cycle here. Really make sure that you hit this. You know, I like to hit it out of the air from a charge jump. So that way the flame is aiming down into the ground when I hit it, but it's very easy to miss that. Now here we're going to jump, charge glide, and wall glide there. Similarly to Wizard Peak, what we did there. Not a tough jump, definitely not as tough as the Wizard Peak one. And again, if you die on the Wizard Peak one, it's not a problem. You just run back around. You just lose like 5 seconds, 5-10 seconds maybe. But yeah, flaming all of these rockets and just kind of hitting all these enemies best I can here. Really go slow with all these gems on the ground, because if you just charge through all that, you will miss one. Can I hit him? Like, alright, I'm just going to play it safe here. I'm just going to wait, you know? No big deal. Take a shot every time I say no big deal. I feel like that's the real, like, drinking game of this tutorial. If I say no big deal, you better take a big deal in your butt. Ah, see? I treated that was too much. I was too big deal right there. I was treating that like it was a big deal. I should have treated it like it was a no big deal. Gliding really slowly there to catch the end of the cycle. You can charge jump here, but it might be safer to just jump and glide like that. Wait for that guy to be done. You can see I'm really delaying in the air before I go for some of these. Now, in world record, I would definitely be rushing stuff a lot more here, but you know, just jumping and charging and jumping and charging. Can jump off to the side. It's kind of wonky to get those chests, so definitely look at that. And grab the last of everything here. And that's Terrace Village for you right there. You could potentially reroute that level to make things a bit easier, but the only trouble you're saving yourself is just on that little wall glide that I showed. So really, you might as well just follow the world record route in that level. Now there, I actually landed in the water to give myself invincibility frames, because I only took 1 hit of damage when I charged through those firework chests. I went in the water, sideswiped the first one, and then bonked into the second one. And I only took damage from the water. Here, I'm grabbing these early. You could grab them after. I like grabbing them early because you can get a double flame charge on them a lot more easily this way. But here we go into Wild Flight. And hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, I love you. You don't even have to like and subscribe. Just know that I love you. You know, you're a special, sweet soul for wanting to experience this game alongside me, and you know, yeah, I love you. Not to get too weird about it or anything. I'm not trying to be too parasocial. Am I laying it on too thick? Look, I'm not trying to get married or anything. I mean, Christ's sake. Slow down. I mean, I know this is like a speedrun tutorial, but I feel like most of what I've been doing here is just slowing it down. Okay, so once you grab everything in that first half, what you're going to want to do is grab 2 planes here. You can even grab 3 in that left side there if you wanted. But grab at least 2, and then go and grab all these, you know, against the grain that they're flying, the direction they're flying. And then you can easily wait for all that, and yeah, very easy. I didn't mess that up at all. Look, chances are you are going to mess that up a little bit, kind of like I almost did and miss a plane. The key there is that you don't fall into the water. Focus in on those chests there, and to make it even easier, like I said, you can grab 3 of those planes when you first enter the area on the left before going into the first tunnel on the right. So you have plenty of time, you know, just don't get too angsty in that level, like I did. I really tried to make it all work, you know, but you don't have to do that because it's very easy to flop, and when you're not ready for it, that flop will end up with you in the water. So just be ready in a situation like that, in that flight level, to press X at any moment in case, especially in that flight level, you can get flopped very easily and just land in the water when all you need to do is just re-glide again by pressing X if you're in that position. Just need to have quick reflexes for that, and you'll be A-okay. So anyways, here we are in Misty Bog. I went ahead and grabbed the extra sparks there at the start, turning around to grab this kind of the secret gems there behind the start. Now these dogs here, you can just kill some of them now if you want and then grab them later. World Record does some routing here where, you know, you grab some of them to start and then you grab some of them after, but for a new player, it might be smart to just kill those frogs and then clean up their gems after, just to keep things safe for yourself. And if you casually remember these frogs from this level, like really destroying you, then get good. No, I'm just kidding. You really want to practice your flame charging. Flame charge, flame charge, flame charge. So important with these, especially with the frogs in this level, because if you flame charge well, and those frogs are waiting for you, you'll hit them before their tongue hits you, basically. And of course, same thing with these bushes. You just got to be quick with the flame charges so that you don't give the enemies time to react, essentially. And especially while these frogs are moving, like you'll see them jumping here, that also stops them from attacking. So you really be paying attention to when the frogs are moving and when they're waiting to attack you. And that's when you can kind of find your windows if you're choosing to just charge them instead of flame charge them, like I did for some of them there. Also going for some of, don't feel bad if you don't get some of those flame charges on the pigs there. Those are some of the hardest flame charges in the whole game. That's another great spot to challenge yourself. Can you flame charge both of those pigs in that section while collecting everything? If you can do that, then you can pretty much flame charge anything in this game. It's like a moving target with a difficult, you got to be like extra close to get those. But yeah, cleaned up everything down below. Heading up this way, we are going to clean up the final island, Guantanamo Bay, here in a bit. But for now, we hit the boxes and then flame these, so that way we can kind of turn our last couple flames, save ourselves some flames. I did kind of have an extra flame there, but it's fine. You can jump across this, but you don't have to. You can just run around it. You know, we don't gotta. Let's not overcomplicate. I'm really trying my best not to overcomplicate things, as you can see. Of course, I can't help but just like keep going fast through this whole game. You can hold X square right there out of that dragon to get a nice chargy jump situation. Get that last little chicken there. You're probably, I'm just going to tell you right now, in this area, you're probably going to be falling in the water a good amount. That's okay. As long as you're really mitigating the enemies as much as possible, you should be fine. You know, and if you're having trouble with these enemies, again, just remember flame charge and pay attention to their movement cycle when they won't be hitting you. And you'll be okay, I promise. Except in this room, you might not be okay. If you have at least like green, blue sparks, you can expect to take a hit of damage and just clean up the rest. It's really not as bad as, I think we all have traumatic memories of our childhood of that room, just absolutely destroying us, but you know, we're big kids now. We're big adults, big maybe grandpas and grandmas, you might say, that are capable of more than our younger selves. So don't let that room intimidate you. Just be ready to lose a damage or two. So yeah, hitting the hog there. Don't forget some of these gems and like that yellow right there in that spot. Also, exiting Misty Bog, you can hold square in case you missed the hog exiting that level, the hog in front of that level. But yeah, here we are in treetops. I like to do it like a flame charge and stretch the flame into that guy, but you totally don't have to do that. It's super unnecessary. You can just charge the first guy. Same thing here, charge and then flame charge the second one. This is what I'm talking about. Like, these flame charges just keep coming up. I mean, you don't have to do any of these flame charges. Not at all. In case that wasn't clear, you can just charge all these enemies. But I mean, why not? You know, I guess for me, it's like, why not make things a little faster, make things a little bit more fun and challenging. Okay, we're getting up and around here. But yeah, if you're new, like your movement isn't gonna look like this, you know, and I'm not gonna patronize you by pretending like to be worse at this game than I am or anything. Make sure that you supercharge through both of those fan chests and avoid this guy. The way you can avoid him is when you're supercharging, let go of your supercharge right around here and just keep walking. So that way, like, as you walk around with that stored momentum, he throws his banana like somewhere over here while you're walking around. It's very easy to get killed there because those bananas knock you back into the void. Now here, I'm going to go down and try to hit the spring chest, but I'm not going to worry about those gems right there. I'm just going to really focus in on that strong box. If you're having trouble there, just focus on the strong box because that's the real time loss if you miss there. I mean, you can clean up the rest of those gems easily, you know, as long as you hit the strong box. Now that jump right there, to get to this island, it might have seemed like, dude, how did you jump that high? But the key about supercharge jumps is that you gotta press X later than you think. If you go back and look at the input display when I jumped off that ramp, you'll see that I pressed X pretty much when Spyro was all the way off the ramp already. Oh, then if you miss this, not a big deal. Walk through those so that way you don't miss one. I've lost many runs to trying to rush through that pile of gems there. And yeah, you know, you can hit that red thief early, but it really doesn't matter. You'll see later that it doesn't lose time to save him for later. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Isaac here. Oh man, my butt hurts from sitting on this wooden bar stool here in a cold garage. But these are the sort of trials and tribulations I go through for you guys. After hitting that strong chest, you're gonna want to just jump right after. I mean, you don't have to. You can just do whatever you want there. It really doesn't matter, but that's the strat, is to just jump right after hitting it. Anticipate hitting it. Now here, I don't jump off the ramp, but I do jump off of this. So at the end of this level, I'll just kind of go back to that ramp real quick and just kind of show the exact speed that I have, because it's kind of important for this trick. You need to have at least a certain amount of speed to make the trick easy for yourself. So normally I would have exited the level at this point, and that's everything. But I'm gonna head back up this ramp real quick and just show off one more time what I do here. When I get up, I jump and then charge in order to already be above the ramp. I land with just the right amount of speed to not jump off, and then press X late and turn off the side of this as you go for it. Now, let's just say, uh-oh, you died, you messed it up, oh no, big problem. Runs over, right? Well, just make sure that the red guy is activated, that you see the red guy here, and all you got to do is follow him. You know, he'll be jumping off over this way, and you can just go. This is the way he'll go. You can totally just follow him and go the casual way, which is this. Now just hold square, no big deal. Take a drink, and then let go of your supercharge here, and then that's your recovery. But the key is that you make sure that this red guy, you know, is on the move, that you're following him, because he can despawn if you go a little too quickly on that respawn. So just make sure you triangulate him and then head on over here. All right, and with that is treetops, and we are out of here. Let's not dwell there for too long. Yeah, again, if you just can't do that like little bump up to the upper area, do not stress it. Just take the death and keep it moving. It's like 10, 15 seconds lost maybe. And sure, maybe some of these time losses are adding up throughout the run, but if you really think about it, we've lost maybe 5 minutes in routing so far up to this point. Let's just be generous and say I've lost 10 minutes in routing, you know, up to this point. We're going to hit this guy, and instead of going out of bounds, I'm just going to grab these gems. Let's just say we've lost 10 minutes in routing. Well, that's still, like, compared to world record for me, that's like a 130 something, you know? So even with suboptimal routing in this game, you can really get some pretty strong times, at least sub 140. You know, with like with real baby routing like this, you can easily get sub 140 with practice. That's a key there, you know, not without practice. But yeah, as I'm going through and ranting here, just again, we're just thinking like, okay, just grab everything here, grab everything there. You don't got to memorize every single gem. We did want to make sure that we got on both of these roofs here before coming down, because that would be a backtrack if we didn't do that. And now we can just head back over this way. Clean up these fireworks. This is very similar to what you'll see in world record, especially if I fail the out of bounds at the start, which I did not go for here. Just grabbing some of these gems. Now, I want to point something out before I continue through the level. That corner over there, all the way up in here, as well as this wall up over here, if you get close to those corners, you will trigger the Metalhead fight early through the wall. And we don't want to do that because it'll give us easier metal pylon cycles. Like, you know how the pylons go from green to red, you know, electrocuted to not. So don't get too far into those, you know, touching up against those walls there. Like, I might have triggered them early there. Let's see. Yeah, so look, they're all red. I have to wait. See that? So that's how you avoid that, is by not... Oh my god, I'm getting all knocked around. So that's how you avoid that. Climb up here. Don't forget the yellow gem. It was a blue in this case because I was going slow, but sometimes there'll be a yellow gem that will be like inside the area. So if it's not sitting there where that blue was, then make sure that you got it already. Sometimes it falls down early, or, you know, like that enemy that hit me had it. Just be careful with that yellow, easily missable gem. And here, same thing. It's like, just keep it moving through that strong chest, and these pylon cycles will be nothing. But worst case scenario, you gotta wait for one, you know, maybe make him shoot one. It's not the end of the world. Metalhead can actually destroy his own pylons. He can zap them himself, which is pretty funny. But yeah, we're gonna just go around this way. Now here, this is like a funny spot right here. I just want to point out before I continue, this is where a section like this is why you need to know how to charge glide, because if you just empty glide this, it's like you can barely make it. Look at that. I'm not even making it. But let's just say I just charge glide it. It's like a million times easier. I mean, look at the difference here of like charging, preserving momentum, and then charge gliding. It's like I'm clearing this easy. But if I'm not doing that, if I'm just standing here, standing still, and then, you know, jumping, ignore that. If I'm standing still, oh my, you get the point. All right, look. I'm obviously cheating all over the place with these practice codes, so I think I've made my point there. Get these last few gems. That's 500, and we are out of Metalhead, and that pretty much concludes Beastmaker's homeworld. All we got to do is the last final cleanup here, which, just pay attention, grab this one red gem right here, and then grab everything else. You should still be in plenty of time for that guy's charge pad cycle. If you're really fast here, you can catch the next couple of cycles, which I don't think I will here. But yeah, just be careful. You know, I'm green sparks here. You might be at a low sparks level, so just play it safe. Okay, I caught the cycle there. Very nice. Hit this guy and then come down over here and grab all these. This jump is really annoying, but it's not as bad as you think. You just jump and charge into it. That's all it is. But if you bonk like a million times there, don't feel bad. I throw world records to that all the time. And with that, we are on to Dreamweavers. Beastmakers was actually kind of a breeze with these easier strats here. Again, if you struggle with the bump in treetops or any of the other things I was showing off in the other levels, don't stress it. You know, just keep it moving. That's another bingo board for the drinking game. Is just keep it moving. Keep it moving. No big deal. And what's the other thing? Flame charge everywhere. Okay, so this guy's a real piece of shit. You know, you can try to hit him early like that, but I'm going to show you what's probably going to happen to you. Is he's going to, you know, he's going to be released early, and then you're going to have to grab him again. So just head on over here, grab it, grab these. If you can get them early, that's great. If not, like, don't stress it. You know what they say. No big deal. All right, so here we go into Haunted Towers, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to take a change of color here. We're going to go, we got the trans color. Let's go goth. I feel like goth is the vibe here. Am I right, guys? Any goth girls in the comments? Or boys, I guess. Make sure you grab that green. There's like a green gem right there. Make sure you grab that. It's an easily missable gem. You gotta kill this guy before the fairy will kiss you, which is good because we need to grab all those gems anyways. Now here, you really want to rush. Like, don't worry too much about killing enemies. Make sure you just flame charge that guy and just go, go, go. We're going straight for the, you can even skip that guy if you wanted. We're going straight for this. That freaking door right there. That's one spot where you do got to be in a little bit of a rush. Now, normally I would go for this trick right here, which is totally doable, but we're gonna not do that. We're gonna play it safe here. Just kill that wizard and go up this way. This is the casual route here, which is really not that much slower than the wizard proxy. Just make sure you turn left there after that first door, and turn left again. Jump, hit that guy, and then jump again. And here you are at the secret area that probably many of you struggled to find as kids. I don't blame you. I was there myself. I was also a dumb kid. I still am. I'm a dumb adult as well. I mean, the dumbness doesn't leave you with age. But we got the beautiful yellow fairy here. You know, you could tell her flame is permanent, not temporary, because she has a yellow dress. That's how magic works, in case you were wondering. Here, I'm flame charging all these guys. These are also really hard enemies to flame charge. If not, just flame and then just jump for their gems. You know, this applies, by the way, to like every enemy that I'm flame charging in this game, in case that wasn't clear if you've been playing along. You know, so don't stress the movement being exactly the same. I hope that was already clear by this point. Missing this guy's gem, but just grab it after, no big deal. I am going to charge into that, so that way I can grab everything in one go there. Jumping down here, we grab the dragon first when we go down out of the secret area. We're back in the main area of the level now. Now we can just kind of clean everything up counterclockwise. Each of these rooms sort of counterclockwise. Be careful not to miss a gem in this area. You might want to take like a second look and be sure. Get this guy turning around. We already have the super flame, so we don't need to kiss that fairy again. But we do need to be careful here, because if we die, like I'm 0 sparks right now. If I die, then I have to go kiss like a million more fairies to get my flame back. You do not keep super flame through the death. So be careful. You don't want to be sparksless like me. What I'm going to do, since I am sparksless, is grab one of these. If you have sparks, you can just go straight for that strong chest off the ledge. I'm gonna grab one more, because why not? And we're gonna head over this way, grab these last few gems over here, and clean up. This is the final backtrack of the level at this point. And if you're low on lives at this point, you might want to check your life count going into this level, because that's a great life to grab if you've had an accidental death or two. In high-level speedruns of this game, we actually really carefully route out what lives we do and don't grab. Because it does save time on the final boss to do a really hard trick with 0 lives. But we're not going to be worrying about that here. Just grab as many lives as you can for safety. You really don't need to worry about that. In fact, we're going to be doing a much easier version of that final boss skip. You'll see once we get there. And here we are coming to the end of Haunted Towers. Flaming the last guy so I can jump for his gem. It's like frames faster than flame charging him. Or at least so I've been told. And we're going to hold square right here, but we're going to have to do a little awkward jump to get around the side there, and we're just going to take a death abuse. You could go for a wall glide there to reroute the homeworld, but there's really no need. If you want, go ahead. But for now, let's just do the basic route. Definitely good to just start with this. Because 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to, even if you're good, you're going to fail that wall glide. So, very important to know this route for Dreamweavers. Because hitting that wall glide does change the level order. But yeah, here we are in Dark Passage. You'll notice that I'm just flaming, getting to these guys as quick as possible. Now, here's what you don't want to do, is like slowly turn and then, because do you see what happened there? because I slowly turned towards him. You gotta remember that these enemies' aggro is based on the camera. So what I do is I jump and then turn. And then you see, I get to him before he can react because he's not like on camera yet. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, to anyone who struggles with those guys, just jump, you know, jump and charge there, and it'll help a lot. And try not to have the camera like looking straight at him. Here, just flaming these guys. Here you want to be careful. I'm gonna just show this real quick. Here you want to be very careful. You can just jump and flame both of those guys if you want, but even if you flame one dog while it's red, look what happens here. If I just flame one of them, it's really hard to hit the other. Well, okay, I just nailed it, but it's really hard to hit the other. So what I do instead is actually I jump, charge, glide, and flame there. Now, if that's too difficult, then don't worry about it. Just focus on just flaming the dogs first there. You see, I hesitated there. Those turtles can smell your fear. So really don't hesitate with them. Just go straight at them. Or if you know that they're going to hit you, just jump, like bait out their shot and jump out of the way. I'll show you how to do that on a few others of these. These guys, you really want to just flame both of them in one go like that. And yeah, I'll show you on these incoming turtles right after this section. Those turtles up there. If you really want to play it safe, you say, oh, I'm green sparks, I don't want to lose sparks, just do this. Just get them to shoot and then just hit them like that. Way, way easier. Way chiller. Way slower, but hey, you know. When you're already losing sparks and you know you're going to take damage on those guys because you're ass, you know, understandable, I've been there. These guys, again, jumping and charging, not turning the camera, but you could also bait their shots. Any one of these turtles, you just bait their shot out. You can play it safe on any of these double spring chests. You know, you see me kind of flaming them both and getting them both. You don't have to do that. You can just short hop and flame them. It's really not a big deal. I can't stop saying it. It's in my blood. Nothing's a big deal. Life is no big deal. Just play the game and have fun, you know? That's why, dude, bro, I'm telling you, that's why they always say in speedrunning, they're like, just have fun. Because none of this shit that I'm telling you right now is a big deal. It's like, do it if you want. Play it safe if, you know, if you're fucking getting pissed, you know? I see people picking up this game and just like losing their mind on the Artisans wall glide that they don't even have to do, you know? That's why I'm making this video, is because it's, say it with me, no big deal. But that's also the fun of, I think, learning a game like this is working out all those crazy strats, baiting out the shots, going for those double spring chests. Okay, right here, I make sure I flame charge on the ground. Make sure this thing is actually sizzling before you jump down here, because if you forget, you basically have to death abuse before touching this dragon. If you miss the rocket, because you're not paying attention or you don't have sound on, and then you touch that dragon, well, now you're in a position where you have to go all the way down through there and go through that entire back part of the level just to get there. So don't put yourself in that position by being, you know, by not paying attention. Really be extra vigilant about that, that firework. And that, my friends, is Dark Passage. Alright, now heading back into the homeworld, we want to hold square and left so that we can jump over here and grab this box and enemy. Charge glide up here. You can also just take the wind tunnel. Stay left in this area so that way you don't trigger the mushrooms on the other side of the wall. Really just in general, stay away from those two enemies that we're about to shoot here. Make sure you grab all these. You can do a jump here where you jump off and jump over there, but if you're just playing it safe, you can also just go this way. You don't have to go in the last one. I think casually it's intended that you go back and then fly up all of those, but another charge glide here can easily get you up here. Get this guy as he kind of turns it around a little, and then hopefully your cannon shots will lock onto these two guys, and well, that's what happens when a mushroom locks on. Like, look at this. Look at this absolute nightmare right here. So in this situation, I'm glad this happened, because in this situation, you just take a death abuse and do it again. And hopefully by this point you have an excess of lives. Maybe not 98 like I do, but you know, maybe you got like 3 to 5 lives to spare. So no big deal. And then these guys should easily shoot down. We call that cannon glitch. And the reason why that happens is because the cannon locks onto a mushroom. One of these mushrooms down here. as it despawns while we're running away from that area. Really just an unfortunate situation why that happens. But we don't let it stop us. A little death abuse never stopped us from following our dreams. And so we're going to head on to the final flight level here of the run, Icy Flight. And the route for this level is basically going to be the exact same as World Record, except I will show you a really cool recovery you can do if you miss the first train, which we don't go for that train right there. It's to the left. We go straight for the lampposts. Once we get past these boxes here, it's just basically going to go box, lamp, starting here. Box, lamp, I guess... lamp, box. I guess I lied. Lamp, box, and box. Don't forget that that last box right there. It's easily obscured by the lamp. Now, let's say you're going slow and you miss that. Oh man. Oh, that train was just going so fast. I don't know. Dayo's just built different that he can reach that train in time. Okay, let's calm down. You know, because you can just grab that train later. It's not a big deal. I'm just kidding. It's a huge deal. I'm done saying things aren't a big deal. There's that train right there, and don't go for that train down there, that last train. We're going to save that for the end. Oh my god, my hood is covering my eyes. Okay, hold on. We got this. This is actually great, because that'll probably happen to you in a run, and then you can easily get the animation skip right there. Perfect. But if you are ahead there, then you're going to want to dive bomb into the train tracks in order to skip that animation. So I'm glad these mistakes are happening, because it's going to be more accurate to what you're going to experience in a run. Now here we go into Lofty Castle, and this level, definitely study this compared to, you know, instead of World Record, because this is a much different route, much safer route through the level. So we're going to start by heading up over this way, grabbing all these, jumping down. You can collect those gems in any order, by the way. It's not like you have to do it exactly like that, but we get up here, flame that turkey before, you know, earlier rather than later. And we're actually going to just jump straight across here. With a nice charge glide, you can easily make that. You want to bear left, by the way, on that jump, so that way you don't get lag spiked too hard and the game drops your input. And here we're going to turn around and charge glide over here and here, and clean up this area early, actually. We're going to kind of grab some of those. You can break those later if you want. Obviously, I'm not an expert on this particular route, so, you know, optimize and save stuff for later if you so wish. But I just left that one green gem right there, so we can head up over here and grab it. We're going to clean up this area very much the casual way, but we're going to start by going straight through all these turkeys and grabbing the gems along the way. Be careful, because those turkeys can knock you off the side. And if you miss one, then they start doing, you know, doing a little dance around you, which is really fucking annoying, honestly. So just try not to get too trolled by the turkeys. I know it's kind of a tall order, but once we clean up everything on Turkey Island, grab both of these chests and head back this way. You can flame this guy while gliding over, but if he's on a suboptimal cycle, you can just land right in front of him and then do that. Go ahead and grab some of these. And if you want to see like a more optimized version of this route, you can actually watch, I believe Zach has a version of it, but it's in Flazuki's community best playlist, if you're curious about any of that. But yeah, notably, I did not go up and grab the firework chest early with that damage abuse that I do in Record. We're not doing that. We're just playing it so simple here. We've taken care of Turkey Island. Basically, by going to Turkey Island early, we've made it so that the supercharge is just like brain dead easy now. Because now we don't have to like go all the way over there into that area. Oh! I blame the game for that one. I got cucked out of my first flame. You can grab those 2 gems early also if you want. Now here, I advise that you grab these 3 gems early. You could also do a turnaround on the supercharge to grab those, but here, we're going to play it safe. You can charge right away here to hit that guy, but you can just wait also, because it's very easy to fuck this up. Flame, 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 okay? Just take it easy. Don't be a hero and go super fast. Once you get more comfortable with that spot and your movement, you can charge right away to hit that guy, but, you know, just play it slow there if you're brand new, if you're a beginner. You don't want to have to fly back up there is the only thing. So now we have the key, and we're just going to supercharge straight on over to the firework chest at this point. So I'm going to kind of go to the left and then go up this. You could also just go all the way around that little platform, but just stop right here on the firework chest, grab all these, and then you can head straight on down to this thing. Actually, fuck. Actually, I take it back. You were supposed to grab all these and then grab these. You could also save the red guys for that point that are there, and then grab all those. Excuse me, sorry, I'm too used to doing good routes here, so you'll have to forgive me for that little blunder. But you get the idea. Just clean up everything there, and you have 400 gems, and you're good to go. That's a lofty castle right there. Also, I have some, like, weird, like, I don't know if this is, like, Vaseline or something on my joystick. Dead skin, I don't know what. But that was kind of gross. Alright. Get Queen Latifah right here. If you're really unlucky or your disc is super scratched, the game can actually crash on Latifah, which is why you shouldn't flame this firework chest and then collect them. You should actually charge into that firework chest, because it reduces the chance that you'll get that crash, that game crash. I didn't mention it also in Lofty, there's a spot where you can avoid a game crash by collecting a gem as you collect the dragon there. So, yeah, here we are in Jock, and we're on the final level of Dreamweavers. Again, don't pay attention to my total treasure, it's not accurate, but we're pretty much here towards the end of the game. And kill those enemies first before cleaning up the what's it called? Chests. Here, I'm going to just kill these two guys, but you know what I'll also do is just for safety, just kill this guy. However you feel comfortable coming out of this area. Maybe kill this guy, and then this guy, and then these chests, and then the gems down here. That might be an easy way to do it as well. Just to, you know, to lower your chances of death. Now here, I would normally just raise this platform up by 1, but just to keep things safe and chill here, we're going to do it by 2. And oh no, you know, I gotta lift him up again. Boo-hoo. It's like, not a big deal, right? So just do that to keep it safe. You can definitely get them without having to reflame them. And there's Revillo right there. It's important, I think, that you grab this first dragon, just in case you die on the Jock fight, you don't go all the way back to the start of the level. When he gets on these little pink platforms, that's when you flame him. Every other spot, you don't have to flame him. Even here, you don't have to flame him. He just goes. Once you get close enough to him, he just goes. You gotta flame the Jock on the Bach. That's how that works. So now we're just going to clean up the rest of the level here. We're starting the backtrack here. Really nice to be able to flame charge those two guys. If not, just try to flame and land on their platform at the same time. Jump around here. Don't miss any of those gems kind of hiding behind you. Now, I flame charged the guy and hit the Jester, but if you want, you can collect all those gems and then flame that Jester, because that first Jester that I hit controls this platform. You can definitely, as you could tell, I definitely had plenty of time to just chill on this platform, but that's why I cleaned up some of the enemies earlier back in that area that the camera's facing over there. So that way it just gives you as much time as possible to get onto that platform if you know, accidentally fuck up your movement during the Jester hit. Here I actually turn right and then left while slowing down slightly. If you slow down too much in midair, Spyro will do that like pulling back animation that looks like this. You don't want that because that points his flame up, but you want to just give it some slight taps. That's a real tappy part right there. Just tap the stick in different directions to adjust. Don't get too wonky about it. Go for a nice double right there, and that's the entirety of Jock right there. I think it's a pretty simple level. It's just that one platform from the Jester that you got to watch out for. But if you prepare for it, then you'll give yourself plenty of time to reach it. And that's the end of Dreamweavers right there. Talk to our homie Amos and head on over to Gnasty's World. Dude, take a moment and pat yourself on the back right now. Pat yourself on the dick because you've actually gone so much further in this game than 99% of players. And for that, I crack beer number 2 in your honor. Well, this chug is for everyone who loves Spyro. Salute to you. All right, so we start this homeworld by turning around and grabbing these boxes. And yeah, one more time, just like big shout outs to you. If you, saw anything in this playthrough that you didn't actually know was a alternative, easier strat that you could do to barely lose time, let me know in the comments. I mean, I feel like people get the wrong idea just watching world record runs all the time like that. Like that's all there is to do. Here we are in Cove. Just make sure you don't miss that red right there. And these guys, sometimes their gem can get obscured by the, like if you look right here, like you can see how the gems would get obscured by the barrels as certain enemies are dying. So just be careful about that. As long as you stand next to a barrel where it's obscuring a gem, you'll still get it. But really try to take visual account of gems in this level. We flame this guy. Try not to get hit by that. Grab this. And now you can do this jump right here to get up here early, but also you can just go around this way. Flame this guy, and collect everything after, which I'll just go ahead and do here. It's whichever you feel more comfortable with. The jump up to the bridge is definitely a cool little jump, but it can be a bit frustrating. Just gonna grab some of these boxes right now and fly back this way. And you'll notice that I'm jumping and charging against these barrels, so that way it reduces the lag from bonking into it. When you fall out of the air, it sort of like cancels the bonk. The sort of animation is a little quicker. Now here I charged, and I'll just explain this real quick. I charge while standing right on that little intersection of, like, you see how I'm standing right on that seam? Not seam, but like texture, where the 3 textures intercept. Right as he comes down, I press square, just for a moment, and that's what does that trick. Now, I'm going to show you real quick what to do. Like, let's just say, okay, I missed a few gems. I'll show you what to do in case you missed that trick and you killed a guy by accident. It's not all over. Don't cry yet. Remember what I say, it's not a big deal. All you got to do is just get up here and hit this. If you had gotten all the gems, you could just turn around at this point and keep going. But let's just say, you know, you missed the box and now you collected all the gems and it's all hunky-dory. You can do a cool recovery where you, like, do like a flop off of this, but I'm not going to bother since I left this blue here anyways. Just run around the old way, the old school way. You know, people, all these kids nowadays don't want to do things the old-fashioned way, but, you know, I'm a traditionalist, you know. I'm doing routes from 2014 and beyond. So let's turn and hit this guy into here. It seems a little slow, but trust me, this is the easiest way to do this section. And we're going to turn around here. Now, I like to kind of get this charge jump right here to hit all 4 of these guys, which I'll show you. But trust me when I say if you're new to this game, you're probably going to fuck that up and take damage. Try to grab the gems here if you can, but if you miss one, it's not a big deal. You can grab it later. Try to hit that box out of the air so it can get a triple kill. I missed it there, so just flame, you know, or just knock it again into the box. I mean, this tutorial is great because this game is just so self-explanatory. It's like, well, looks like I missed it. Better hit it again, you know. So I don't think that part needs much explaining. I'm not gonna patronize you for explaining that. Yeah, so we got all the gems here. I did charge, just to point out real quick in this area, I did knock one of the barrels into the key here, but you could also just grab the key in the other room and open the chest normally. In fact, I'd probably recommend doing that, just grabbing the key at the end of this room before going in there. I'm just so used to not doing it. It really doesn't matter whether you do that or not. And yeah, if you missed any gems on the stairs, you'd grab them before coming into this area. And you should be able to see the gem ticker approaching 390, which you grab the last 10 gems right there at the end. And that is Gnorc Cove. Now, remember to exit through the vortex leaving this level, otherwise the Twilight Harbor head won't open. Also, make sure you grab this dragon and all the gems there before the level, otherwise the head won't open. Stand next to this box instead of on top of it for the gems to home in. Now here we go into Twilight Harbor. We're getting towards the end. One more chug. Cheers. All right, here I'm going to be showing you guys something called the double death abuse route, which hopefully I remember. If you're really quick here, you can get to this guy before he throws his grenade, but if you're not quick, just wait for him to throw a grenade like that. You're going to hold square and left to jump on over to that side. Square left and then X when you hit the ground. Grabbing all these. There's a route where you can actually like leave these gems for later that you can see Saboom do in his PB. But we're not going to be doing that. You could also grab that line of red gems that was behind me as well. That works too. I'm flame charging all these enemies. It's okay if you miss the flame charges. You can just grab the gem out of the air like that. There's no shame in that. Make sure you flame this this bridge. Because we're going to be going to the upper area first. It actually doesn't matter. You can go to the upper or lower area first. We're basically going to be taking 2 death abuses here. Oops, I just dropped my phone. As I mentioned earlier, you can just not jump off of this in order to hit this guy. And just turn it around to grab the rest of these gems in here. I'm choosing to go to the upper area first, but I want to reiterate, it doesn't matter. You can do this part first or the next part that I'm going to do here. I think it's better actually to go to the upper area first. That way you don't have to hit the bridge now. Hit the bridge thing. So I guess it does make more sense to go up first. Like what I just did. And make sure you don't run into a rat as you go into this, because the rat's body will go into the box and make you proxy off of it without breaking it. Yes, that's a real thing. Also make sure you don't touch that dragon pedestal right next to me there, so that way you get respawned back to this spot. If you run over the dragon pedestal with supercharge, it'll reset your spawn point to that pedestal. Watch out for that guy's grenade. You might want to play this room a little slower than I am. Just take it easy. Jump over the Doritos. You know the deal. Same thing here. Jump these Doritos. Don't be a hero. But yeah, having really comfortable flame charges, you know, it makes this section a lot less scary. This level is probably really scary for some people, but not for us, because we're pro speedrunners. Yeah. So yeah, that was the Twilight Harbor double death abuse route. Probably the easiest one possible. World record would only do 1 death abuse in that level. And here we go into Gnasty Gnorc, the final level of the game with Goth Spyro. I'm glad we kept Goth Spyro through this last section of the run. It's like I feel like Spyro's just been aging throughout this run. He's just showing, he's molting his shell into different colors and stuff. We've reached his full maturity at this point. He's just gone full dark mode, cinder mode. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you guys some real quick. I'm gonna reload this level and just show you guys some quick kills you can do on these thieves to make things easy. You can chase them down like how I did, but you might have a lot of trouble and have to grab them a lot. What you can do here is you can just jump, because they don't see you if you're above them. You can jump and then flame like that. Jump, glide, flame, basically. Jump, charge, glide, flame. And then on this one, you can run against the wall and then turn left and flame immediately. This one might take a little bit more practice, but you can do that on that guy as well. But either way, you run through all these areas, you know, collect all the gems, whether you chase the thieves down or do a quick kill on them. You clean up all these gems. I'm not going to bother cleaning up all the other gems from the other room. You get the idea. I grabbed them. And at this point, all that would be left in this area is that firework and these gems. And now we just follow Gnasty here. Really be careful not to be too airborne so that we can collect all these gems. Try to keep up the pace here so that way he doesn't get too far away. You do have some room for error like that, but Gnasty can easily get away from you and force you to do another lap. So this section might take a few tries of practice. And by a few tries, maybe like 100. I'm just kidding. Like even if you do another lap with Gnasty here, it's not the end of the world. But you can see even with some slight movement errors, I'm still able to flame charge jump to catch him in time. Sometimes if you're slow, he'll shoot you and you can still hit that strat on him as he's running away. And just charge jumping across all this. You can take it slow if you want. These platforms move in very slowly, so you can take your time here. And now, instead of doing the crazy trick here, I'm just going to flame him. All right, we're going to hold our pride. And this is the best part I want to show you right here is basically... Well, basically what you do once these credits start is you want to open your disc tray. I just opened the disc tray of my PS2. And what that does is it stops the disc from spinning without turning off the console. You know, I'm playing on a PS2 Slim. If you're playing on emulator, you can also go into the setting file eject disc, and it does the same thing. You might want to ask, depending on the emulator you're on, you might want to ask some other players like how they do it. But this is possible on emulator. And what happens at this point is the screen goes dark, and then when it says returning home, I close the disc tray. So I just physically closed the disc tray of my PS2 right there. And it does take a few seconds for the game to spin and start loading again, but after about 10 seconds or so, we will end up back in Gnasty's homeworld, saving us, I don't know, like 40 seconds off of the credits instead of watching the whole thing. This does skip it all, even though this is still kind of slow. Here we are. And we call that poverty credits skip. And yeah, like I said, that is probably the biggest individual time loss compared to, we would have already grabbed all those gems. That is the biggest individual time loss compared to world record or whatever that you'll be doing in this run. So if you do want to learn credit skip, then be my guest. But ordinarily you would do that and then this head would open if you have all the gems. I don't because they've respawned here, but I'm just going to warp straight into Gnasty's loot and we're going to finish off the game here and celebrate a job well done. And in case you're scared about not having all the gems going into loot like that and the mouth not opening, you can check to make sure when you're entering the first level of each homeworld that you have, like, you know, a round number of gems, like, you know, 0-0 at the end. That way you can kind of just double check to make sure you got everything without losing too much time. But yeah, I actually grabbed some of those chests early there. You're going to want to grab these first and then hit the thief, grab the chest, get it in whatever order, but just clean up everything there early. I almost did like a crazy strat there, which we're not about to talk about. And when you get up to these upper levels here, make sure you do a full hop and then a glide, so that way it raises the height cap. I think I might have missed the little strat there, but you just turn left and press L1. Check the input display in order to see that movement. When you're at the height, yeah, I did miss it. When you're at the height cap and press like L1, R1, instead of doing a loop-de-loop, you just get stuck in the sideways position like this, which is kind of hilarious. So that's how we can kind of get the flame up there, but it's not necessary. As you can see, we're gonna just grab it later. You can flame that plane through the door if you're quick enough. I'm ass at it. And then after this plane goes off screen, then we turn into him. So that's my visual cue for that, if you want to get the quick kill that way. You can also just full hop a glide there and just kind of try to time it your own way, but that's how I like to do it, is charge jump, and then when he goes off screen, you turn in. Here, I'm going to turn in early to hit him, but I just want to show you what you would do. Say if you miss him, what you would do here is you would fly all the way into this area, and right about here, you turn around, and then once you get back to this area, the plane will fly. I already killed it, but the plane would fly down right now. It would fly down right as you reach the platform, so you'd be able to hit him that way. It's very, very easy. Easy peasy. Only loses like maybe 10-15 seconds to do that little recovery, so don't stress it if you miss that second guy there. Or if you miss either of the guys, you just chase him down. But definitely that second guy you want to do the turnaround recovery on. It's just a lot easier and faster of a recovery than actually chasing him down. You see me flopping off here. That actually conserves charge momentum, so that way I can fly up more quickly. But of course you could just jump and glide if you want. Also shout outs to the practice codes, Composer and Kara, with their cute little picture here. And yeah, just be really thorough with these gems here in Gnasty's loot, and you have officially completed Spyro the Dragon 120%. So yeah, guys, congratulations again. This tutorial, hopefully it was helpful to you. Hopefully you're a little bit further on in your speedrunning journey, and hopefully you learned something watching this video. And if nothing else, I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant about this game, as I always do. I will take one more sip of my beer, and I just want to say, guys, cheers for still loving this game, for speedrunning it, and being interested in it. Whether you learn this route, or you learn something else, or you learn nothing at all, I'm just glad you're here with me, and I just want to say salute to you, and shout outs to all the Spyro fans out there. Guys, I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.
Damn.